This weekend has a lot of summoning, and a lot of people are confused on what they should summon for, what's the highlights of the week, and things like that. And I'm just going to go over what I think is best for which type of player, if you're early, mid, late game, etc., or depending on which hero options you have. Because some of the heroes in here are only good if you have certain heroes or you don't have certain heroes. And there's also ancient summoning coming up. And there's a bunch of other events. I've never seen a lucky ticket in this game. I really hope that this gives like most people a free divine instead of it being super luck based. Things like that. But anyways, so if you saw the other videos of me going over the kits, you'll know my opinions on these two banners already, but I'm just going to put them in one video this time. So for this one I would recommend for earlier game players. These two, the ones that have these heroes in them, and I'll go over why. So first of all, it's a 2x event and a 10x event. I'm pretty sure the last time they did this was with Constance and Allura, and lots of people summoned on that because it was a great deal. 2x events and 10x events with good heroes are always very, very good to go for. If you're early, mid game, or even late game, and you're not going for Gwendolyn, highly recommend summoning here. First of all, Hollow is amazing. I was doing about 15,000 blood in Guild Boss, and then I used a Hollow with bad gear, not leveled very well, and she bumped it up from 15,000 to 19,000 just from using her with never having used her ever before. She's so good for rage regen, which is very important in this game, and she heals well, but not well enough to interrupt her rage regen, because when she heals, she gives you rage. Mariel is whatever. She's very outclassed later on in the game, but she has her niche uses. If you're struggling in AMR 18, she can heal your Oleg. If you're struggling, she's fine. She might be good in factions, I'm not sure. Mari is always good. You get her for free, but she's very good. I don't use her personally very much, but her debuffs are very good, and her slow is amazing. She's usable almost anywhere. The only issue about this banner is Orim. Orim is terrible. He's trash. You do not want him at all. The only thing I could say that he might be good for is very early game content when you need a okay defender, and he's Infernal. Even though Infernal factions is one of the best factions in general, and you can use Titus instead of him for that. Titus, one of the worst tanks in the game, is better. But yeah, he's pretty mediocre. I'm pretty sure one of his buffs he gives to himself. Yeah, he gives all allies 20% crit damage increase for 15 seconds when he's deployed. That's like the only interesting thing in his kit, and it's terrible. But the two highlights are Cetrim. If you do not have a bonded Silas, will be amazing. If you don't have a bonded Silas, he is great. If you do, he is still pretty good. He's really good. He does extra damage on shields. He has the longest range in the game. As you can see here, it branches out on the sides when you promote him. Piercing damage, marksman. He's very good for the new first Void Rift area. He's very good for Guild Boss because he does more damage against shields, and he does a lot of bursts. So he's very good if you're struggling with that. And he's just all around really good. Infernal's one of the best, if not the best, Guild Boss faction, and it's a great faction for most content. Cetrim is a really good person to get. But the highlight here is Boreas. I think he looks cool. Some people say he looks ugly. If you saw my guide, you know how I feel about him. Instant win button is just putting him down on Curate 1. He's good in other content too. If you pair him with other freezers, he does insane damage. I saw him in an AoE arena on Forerunner servers. Someone showed me a video, and it was actually insane. He does so much damage. It's absurd. He's very good. His awakenings are good. I have a friend who's trying to go to A1, so good luck for him. This is a very good banner to summon on, purely because of Hollow. Cetrum, and Boreas, I would highly recommend. But the only case I would say where you don't want to summon on this banner is if you're going for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, I thought she was good for Guild v Guild, but I was told she's more or less just Vortex 2.0 for that, so she's not really too great. Estrid is rare, so she's fine to go for if you don't have her. But with Gwendolyn, if you have Elder, she is worth going for. And that is probably the only case I would say where she is better than going for the other banner. There is, I guess, a second use case, and that is purely to have her in your collection, just in case there's other content or units that benefit from her. But for the most part, she's just an exclusive hero. She's like Falcia. She's cool, but she's not very great. She, I think, probably needs a buff to be very viable, which she won't get. If you have Elder, she is worth going for. Otherwise, don't go for her. Go for these guys. They're better. And then last thing is Ancient Summoning. Personally, I'm hesitant to say you should summon. I will be summoning, because I would love anything from this banner. I still need to get an Isolde, and I have never had a legendary from Ancient Summonings, even though I've summoned like 50 plus Ancient Summons or so, which is on rate, but it's still a bit disappointing when everyone's pulling lords, like legendary lords from one summon. I would not recommend it. I would wait for a 10x like how we had last time with Elder, Ardea, and Thalin. I would recommend just waiting. There might be a Infernal Lord 10x somewhat soon, and probably an Aracha 10x at some point is my guess, but I can't promise anything. There will probably be like a Praetus one. I'm not sure about any information on that guy, but he is part of the new faction. There should be a 10x on one of those pretty soon, as they seem to be doing Ancient Summonings once a week now, which is kind of cool, but it's also a little bit of a hit to your Ancients, but Infernal Codex kind of offsets that. Anyways, I would summon on this one, more or less. Aurum you don't want, everything else you do want, especially Hollow. I need a bunch of Hollows, because I want to get her A5, she's very good for Guild Boss. And then Gwendolyn, I would only go if you want her for the collection, or you have Elder. And Ancients I would stay away personally, even though I will be summoning, more or less. Alright, anyways, that's that. Have a great day, guys.